What's happening, everybody? MG here, MG Covers, bringing you a brand new handicapping video, how to create your own stat model, part 2. Super excited about this video. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out which direction we were going to go in. So in this video, this is part 2, we're going to talk about converting a stat into an actual line. If you have not watched the first video, I encourage you to do that. And just a quick review, the reason we have a stat model, it's a non-biased, statistically driven model that gives us an accurate line with no bias factored in. A couple key things is we want to keep it simple, and we want to use most recent stats. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is it correlates to the very first video. If you remember, we talked about finding a stat that correlates to winning. And we actually did in NFL. I showed you guys this, and you're looking at the screen now. New England Patriots this past season had a plus 21 point turnover margin, whereas you look at a team that did not do well. Los Angeles Chargers had a minus 17 turnover margin. Now, the stats year to date, but I'm just going to use this as an example. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to take this number here, 0.21, and actually convert that into a line so that we can create lines with all these teams. And of course, you can take this concept and apply it to other concepts as well in other sports. And we may do, the next video may be another sport. So anyway, let's dive right into it. So what we determined last week was a team that has a huge turnover margin. In this case, we just ranked these. You look at the top 5 teams in turnover margins, and then you look at their record. For example, New England Patriots, slide over here, they were 12-4, win percentage of 75%. Whoops, where's our other team here? Whoops, sorry about that. New Orleans Saints, they were second at a plus 15. They were, what was NFC, MG? Sorry about that. Saints were 13-3, 81%. So there is a direct correlation to having a huge turnover margin to winning. And at the same token, you have, let's take like the New York Giants. They were at minus 17 turnover margin. And let's see what their record was. They were 4-12, only won 25% of their games. Okay. So, and you can see we have every team in the NFL listed here, 1 through 32. That's important to remember, 1 through 32. All right. So this is the difficult part in creating a stat model. So you can't just say, hey, plus 21. How do we convert? We have to convert that into a line. Okay. And I do this with all models. So what we're going to do, let's look at New England's win percentage. Okay. They were the very best team in turnover margin. Their actual win percentage was 75%. So I think I wrote that down somewhere. I'm writing that down. So if you're watching this video, just write that down so you can see it. Write down 75%. And the Saints were 81%. Okay, win percentage 13-3. And let's look at the third team here. Seattle Seahawks plus 12. They were third. Let's see what their record was. Seahawks were 11-5. They were 68%. Okay. So what I'm going to do, so now we have 3 numbers, 75, 81, and 68. What is the average of those 3? Not average. I think we're looking for the medium. What's the middle number? So it's not 81 is the top number. 68 is the lowest number. So we're going to use 75. Okay, just remember 75. So New England is going to be a 75. Now, and all this is going to make sense here in a second. All right, let's scroll down here to the Los Angeles Chargers, minus 17. Let's see what their win percentage was. Chargers, slide over here. 31%, right? See that? 5-11, 31%. So I'm writing down 31%. The other team was the Giants. Giants were NFC. Giants were 25%. So I'm going to write that down. So I have 25 and 31. The next team was the Carolina Panthers. Panthers were 31%. Okay. So we have three numbers, 31, 25, and 31. So I'm going to use 31, the number 31. That's going to be assigned to this 30-second spot. Okay. So if this is confusing to you right now, that's okay. So what we're doing is we're trying to figure out if a team is plus 21, if they're leading the NFL in turnover margin, what is their percentage chances of winning? So for New England, we have converted that to 70, or whoever is in this first spot, to 75%. Okay. And for last place, we have correlated someone that has a minus 17 turnover margin into a 31% chance of winning. Okay. And you say, well, what do we base that on? Well, we base it on the record. You see what I'm saying? What was that? Yep, Patriots 75%. All right, so now let's go to Google Sheets. And if you're not using Google Sheets, it is an absolute must. You have to use Google Sheets. So I'm going to show you now, I'm building a stat model, how to copy and paste. So this is very simple. So all I do is I just highlight all of this, right? All the way down. Very simple. I'm going up to, you can't see me, but I'm going up to copy. I use that from file. And then I go over here to my spreadsheet. You just click this anywhere. And then I'm going to go here to edit. And I'm going to hit click paste. Voila. Okay. It's pretty cool, right? So then I come all the way over here. I want to get rid of all these stats that we're not using. And clean this chart up some. So all I did was just delete all the junk that was in there. And so now you have turnover. So I want to copy this. So I'm going to scroll down here. So I'll go over here and click copy. Scroll back over here to where we had. And then I'm going to start right here and click paste. Okay, so there we go. So now you can see this up close, right? So New England, 21 point turnover margin. And then there's our last team, Los Angeles Chargers, minus 17. And remember, what did we say was the win percentage for a team that was leading the NFL in turnover margin? 75%. So we'll write 75 right here, okay? Does that make sense now? So now we've actually taken this number and converted into a win percentage. All right, so let's scroll down here to the very bottom, and we'll type in 31 for the Chargers. Now, so we got to fill in all of these numbers right in here. You say, well, how would you do that? Well, it's very simple. So 75 for New England. Write that down if you're doing this at home, and this would be the best way to do it. Just write it down as I'm doing this so you can learn. 75, and then we write down 31. So add those two together. You should get 106. You take 106 divided by 2, and that is 53. So where do we put the 53? Well, what is the middle of 1 and 32? It's 16. So all you do is just take 32 divided by 2, and that is 16. And then that number, 75 plus 31 divided by 2 equals 53. So for the Houston Texans, they're going to have a 53% chance of winning. Okay. Now we just do the same thing here. So we have 1 and 16. What's half of 16? 8. So now we got to come up with a number for the Chiefs. We take 75 and 53. 75 plus 53. I had to go away from the mic. Sorry. That equals 128 divided by 2. 64. That is 64. So we type in 64. Now, we'll go down here to the very bottom. 32 and 16. Or what's half of we're just looking for the middle number here, is going to be 24. The Detroit Lions. So you take 53 and 31. That is 80. 84 divided by 2 is 42. So we're going to type in a 42 here. And you just keep doing this until you have all of these numbers filled in. Does that make sense? So then you would take half and half, or you can just logically do it, which means like if I was, okay, so I know 64 is here, so let's make this 73, make this 71, 69, 67, 65. Okay, so I'm at 64, so I'll change this. I'll make it 65, 66, and then there we go. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's in essence how you do it. So when you finish all of this, it's going to look like this. Boom. I don't want you guys to see. I should have. Wait a second. I don't want to show this yet because you guys will freak out. All right, let's do this. Let's cover this with black. Okay, good. So now you guys can't see this. All right. So you can see here. So New England, 75% chance of winning. You can scroll down here. Buffalo, 59. And see how it all follows together there. Does that make sense? So now what we have to do, you say, well, what does that mean? So in essence, it means New England has a 75% chance of winning. We've taken that turnover and converted into a percentage of winning. And the Los Angeles Chargers have a 31% chance of winning. But now we have to take that win percentage and convert it into a spread line. All right? Now, this is from my buddy's site, Jimmy Boyd, good handicapper. He created this. Now, there is a math formula to follow for this, okay? So it's not like it's just his own thing. If you want to research the formula to figure this out, to convert a money line into a spread, I mean, you can do it for any sport. There's a formula. I'm not going to talk about that here because all we have to do is look at the chart. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at New England is 75. Dadgummit. Sorry about that, guys. Whoops. Okay. So let's pull this back up. My bad. Okay, now we can see this here. So we look at New England as 75, right? So we go over here and find 75, and what do we see? 7. So New England would be minus 7. So how cool is that? So we've taken the turnover margin, converted that into a percentage. Now we've taken that percentage and actually converted it into a line, which is what we want. We want to be able to create a line so we can come up with our own lines for the games, for the stat model. All right, let's go down here. Look at my Redskins. Redskins are 56. So you look at, okay, 54 is 2.5, 59 is 3. So we'll make them say minus 3. And let's do one all the way down here. Let's go all the way down to, say, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 34. So we'll look until we see 34. There's 34 would be a plus 4. Tampa Bay is a plus 4. Okay? So, when you're done, and I should put the link up for that. You can just go, you can just Google that. Google NFL spread to money line conversion, and you'll find it. It pops up Jimmy's site on that one. Okay, so when you finish doing all that, it will. Let's convert this to white. Look like this. So boom, there we go. Let me get these out of the way too. Okay, so now every team has an actual line. How cool is that, right? So how this would work now, so just to review again, we took Buffalo Bills. They have a plus 4 turnover margin that converts into a 59% chance of winning, which converts into a minus 3 line. So if the lines are the same, you just subtract. I mean, if it's 2 minuses, you just subtract. Or down here, if it's 2 pluses, you just subtract. If the lines are, if you have a negative and a positive, then you're going to add those. No, it sounds weird, but I just state that because I just look at math a lot different than most. My mind just figures it out without me having to actually teach it. But just for the sake of this example, so let's say New England Patriots are playing the Ravens. Now, there's no subjectivity factored into this whatsoever. We're just going strictly by the line. So we take New England as -7. Baltimore is 4.5. So therefore, our line for this game would be New England -3. Oh, 3.5. 3.5. So there we go. So we got a line from our stat model. So our stat model says that New England is -3.5. Now, we're not talking about accuracy of the stat model, any of that. This is the infancy stages of building a stat model. I'm just showing you how you can take a stat and convert it all the way into a line. Now let's do another game. Say Seattle, who's -6.5, is playing the Oakland Raiders. So there are two different numbers. You have a negative and a positive number. So Seattle 6.5, Oakland is 2. So our line would be, let's write it the other way, would be Oakland plus 8.5. Okay. And that seems about right, doesn't it? And again, these are year-to-date stats. We're going to talk about using recent stats in the next video. Again, the whole purpose of this video was showing you how to convert a stat into an actual line. All right, and then let's do one where we have two underdogs. So let's say we have the Giants playing Dallas. So Giants are 5. Dallas is 1. So you subtract 5 from 1, that gives you 4. So Dallas would be the favorite, right? So it would be, let's put this up the next one here. So we would have Dallas -4. Whoops. Correct that one. -4. -4. Okay? And so that's a very simple way to do it. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a lot of different sports, but this was mainly how to do it just taking one stat. Now, I would not necessarily use this as a complete stat model, just turnovers alone, but I just wanted to take that one stat and show you how you can take that one stat, convert it into a line. Now, here is the homework assignment so we can see some application of this and test the accuracy. Somebody will need to do this and send it to me, email it to me, mg@mgcovers.com. If somebody can, I look for the XFL stats because the XFL after today, they've played 3 games, which would be very good. We have three games of data, so to speak. If somebody can list out the turnover margin for all the teams in the XFL, I didn't see where on their site that they had it laid out as easily as the NFL did, so you might have to manually do it, go through each game, plus or minus, etc. But if you can send me something like this, I'll give you like a I don't know, a 2-week pass, something like that. If you can do that for me, I'm going to be busy. I won't have time to do it. But if you can send me that, I'll show you how you can take just 3 games of data, because obviously they're not going to have a plus 21 turnover margin in 3 games. But I'll show you how you can put all this data in here so that we can still create lines. So again, that's how you convert a stat into an actual line. Maybe the next video, I'll take a different sport so you can see it, maybe a money line sport. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you this. If we were doing a money line sport, it would be very simple, right? You just take that 75% and convert it into an actual money line. Like, for instance, 75%. So New England would be a minus 310. Does that make sense? And then if, let's say New England was playing Philadelphia. Philadelphia's 45. And this was a money line sport. You go find 45, 120. So our line would be, let's write this here. So New England, let's say if this was a money line, like hockey, that'd be minus 310. And Philly would be plus 120. So there's your money line. How cool is that? All right, so I know you might have questions. If you do, send me email mg@mgcovers.com, or just post it in the comments below, and that way we as a community can kind of go through this. As always, if you like this video, give it a like. Again, we'll probably have 2 more parts to this video. If you have any questions, let me know. And please, 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 if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, MG Covers, covers spelled with a Z. Check out the website if you want to become a member. Coaching client, it's mgcovers.com, spelled with an S. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll have part 3 here shortly.